different thing today. I'm gonna explain you guys how my station is working. I get this question very often. So hold on, let me just change some settings here, and then I'll go over my station. Okay, 73s to everybody, and very good evening. I'm sorry if my phone isn't. I don't keep my phone very still, but this is just for you guys. I get so many questions asked about my station and how I'm doing the live stream, um, and how I'm capable of live streaming this entire, the setup that I have. I'm not gonna explain you how I do the live stream regarding the live stream itself, but how my station is set up. Okay. Um, First of all, I don't own a. Let me turn off the volume here. I don't own a SDR capable radio, and I wanted to upgrade my station, so I have a nice overview of what's going on the entire handband and the bands that I'm working on. So um, this is my radio. It's a TS480, a very simple radio. It's the 100-watt version. And of course, obviously, this radio is not capable of doing SDR receive. So a couple of years back, when I got my license, I once bought this SDR Play receiver, and I never used it. So basically, what I did, I started to use this SDR Play receiver. The reason why I never used it was quite, funny. The connector here, there's a little pin in there, and it broke off. And I never got a receive on that SDR receiver, so I kind of put it in the closet, and I never looked at it anymore for maybe 5-6 years. And 5-6 years later, I found it in the closet, and I said, okay, let's try it again. And I found out that that pin there was broken, so that was the reason why I didn't have a receive. So basically what I'm doing, I'm splitting my receive and transmit. I'm using my TS480 as my daily driver for TX, together with, of course, my OM Power 2000 Plus amplifier. I also have the Yaesu G1000 DXC rotor. And this is my homebrew antenna switch. There are 3 antennas connected to it, 80 meter, 40 meter, and then I've got my my 2-element cubical quad that is capable of doing 5 bands in one go. It has a single feed point. I'll make another video for the antenna, okay? But let's talk first about how I managed to make the SDR Play work together with my Kenwood receiver. So basically, I'm receiving not through the Kenwood. I'm receiving through the SDR Play. Okay, this is my receiver, and I'm using the software that is called SDR Console. You can see it right there. You can go on internet, and if you go to internet, you just type in download. There you go. Download software defined radio, SDR radio. So the website is over here, and you can basically download this software for free. So it's free of charge. Simon is making this software, and there's a forum, and I just try to get a hold of Simon. If somebody of you do know Simon, please let me know, because I need to talk with him. I have a little request that I have been asking for months and almost a year or two, but he never implemented it. I'll come back to that issue. So basically, when you do this split between receive and TX, obviously you run into trouble. So first of all, for people who are not familiar with the SDR Play, this is my receiver. It goes from 0 to 2000 megahertz, I think. I'm not sure, maybe even higher. And it just connects with a USB cable, and the USB cable connects to a computer, obviously. And when you have that on your computer, you basically can view the or you can receive through that SDR player. You can see that, by the way, because if I disconnect from the SDR play and I connect again, this is where you can see that I'm actually receiving through the SDR play receiver. So let me just start to receive again. Okay, well, the problem that you have, of course, is that you need to make this software also talk with the radio over here. Okay, so there is a data cable coming from the TS 480 into another USB port of the same computer, and this is the little software that is going to connect to, or make the connection, the link between SDR console and also the TS480. So basically, when I start to tune here, okay, you can see it. It's changing also over here. Okay, so you can see that I'm basically controlling the frequency through the tuning knob of my SDR, sorry, of my sorry, TS480. There you go. So this is just synchronizing the TS480 with the SDR console. So if I click over here, obviously it will also change the frequency on my TS480. The second, so first step is connecting USReal Play to the SDR console. The second step that you need to do is connecting through the data cable and make things work. Now, to make this applet here work with the external radio feature, you will also need to install a separate software that is called OmniRig. If I click here, I think it's here, yeah. If you click here, you will see that this software is pointing to OmniRig, and OmniRig is a separate software. So if I click here, it will actually call a separate software that is called OmniRig. It's free of charge, and you can see that it is connected to my TS480. Okay, so this is how I actually interact between the SDR console and the TS480. Okay. The third thing that you need to do, of course, is, well, you have to connect physically the antenna of both the SDR console and the TS480 at the same time, because I'm using the same antenna for receive and transmit. But obviously, you cannot just connect both things together, because if I start to make a TX, or when I do TX with this radio, it will definitely fry up my SDR play. So you need a supplemental little TRX switch. Okay, this is the TRX switch. It's a homebrew switch that I've made. So when my radio here goes into TX, and if I go into the menu, you will see that somewhere in the menu you can turn on the linear amplifier, and whenever I PTT, there is also another connection coming from the data port here. I think it's the data port, or there is a separate port. I don't remember now. It's been too long I've done this. That goes to that little TRX switch. And when I push that PTT button, you can see here that little light there. The TRX switch is going to actually swap the antenna, where you have one output for the antenna and two inputs, because you need one input for the SDR console or SDR play hardware, and you need one connection, of course, for the radio. It's just going to switch between both. So when I go into TX, it will put actually the antenna connection that goes to my SDR play in short. Otherwise, I'm going to blow up my SDR play once I start to TX. So in any case, if I would turn off my relay control that is normally supposed to be used for an amplifier, if I would turn it off, I'll certainly fry up my SDR play. So it's very, very important that I never turn it off. So I will go out of that menu. Okay, so that's very important. Okay. One moment, because my battery seems to be dying on my phone. I got another 20%, so I got a little bit of more time. So that's it. Whenever I do TX, okay, this guy is going into short because of the TRX little switch. You can buy the TRX switch. I think it's called Easy TRX switch. Let me just Easy TR switch or TRX. I think it's TR switch. There you go. So if you search for Easy TR switch, you will go to a website called QRP Kits, and this is where you can call for 20 bucks, 20 US dollar, that kit. So it's pretty inexpensive, but of course you need also to have a little box where you have to put it in there, and you need a couple of SO connectors to build your TRX switch yourself. So it's pretty inexpensive, as you can see. Let me see, I think this is the TRX switch. There you go. The price for the TRX switch is 20 US dollar, so it's not that expensive. The SDR Play itself costs around 100 US dollar or 100 euros the time I'm recording this video here. Okay, so that's actually basically how the setup is done. Now in the software here, that once you got the connection with your TS480, you have to configure a few things like, you know, mute audio or reduce also the receive while I'm going into TX mode. That's going to be necessary to make things work completely. So the fun thing about this setup also is that I can also eventually connect to another receiver somewhere else in the world, and I could eventually control my SDR Play with the VFO button with the dial here on my TS480. So yeah, that's basically the setup here. I'll make a separate video on how I do this streaming stuff because I get this question very often as well. So that's another story. It's pretty complicated. I'm not sure if I will be able to explain it in one video. If you have any questions, drop a message under this video here. I will try to respond. I'm very lame in responding emails, to be honest with you, but I'll try to do my best. So there you go, guys. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about one thing. If you go into TX mode and you talk 1, 2, 3, I get always some kind of a feedback. Let me turn on the volume. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
You see, I have a feedback. So I need to do this auto mute, and this auto mute is very sensitive. So, you know, the current receive is 27 dB. So I need to put it just at the edge of where. Okay, so when I have it at 20 dB here, okay, then it's gonna work. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, testing. Okay, so then it's muting, but sometimes it fluctuates. So if you, Simon, you see this video, please, I beg you, mate, just in the transmit, just here, add some supplemental timeout before we go and switch into RX. It's gonna help a lot. Okay, guys, this is it for this video. I hope it's useful for you. 73s, talk to you later, guys. I might just do a live stream right now.